الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح اسم ربك الأعلى الذي خلق فسوى والذي قدر فهدى والذي أخرج المرعى فجعله غثاء أحوى.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد, Inshallah, we are going to take lesson 7b. We took lesson 7a. The reason for making this lesson A and B, because our lessons are usually in 1 hour session, like 50 minutes to 1 hour. And since Khums Masail, they require a lot of pondering and reflection and calculations, so we have divided one lesson into 2 lessons. So in case if you are studying our Hausa courses, so this will be your 30 minutes, like half credit, not 1 credit, because 1 credit in our Hausa is 1 hour, like 50 minutes to 60 minutes. So therefore, if it is 30 minutes, that means it's half credit, even if it goes to 40 minutes. And if it is 1 hour, even if it goes to 1 hour, 10 minutes, or 55 minutes, or 50 minutes, is considered like 2 credit. I mean, 1 full credit. So this is half credit in our Hausa curriculum. So, so we are going to discuss this. The Khums Masail of Minhaj al-Salihin from Sayyid Ali Sistani, lesson 7b. We'll try to cover ruling number 1212 to 1213 from Minhaj al-Salihin of Sayyid Ali Sistani Damadullah, part 1. And also we have, so we are going to discuss about the obligatory charity. There's no khums on it, and neither khums or khums. What about the growth? The attached growth or detached growth? We're going to talk about it. So let's first take about the obligatory charity. So ruling number 1212. So as usual, I'm going to read the Arabic part. You check the English, and if there is a problem, let me know. La yajibul khums. Ruling number 1212. Khums is not obligated on what? Fima mulika bil khumsi aw zakah. Whatever is owned through khums and zakat. So let's say you are a Hausa student and Ayatollah Sistani gives you a salary, okay, from the khums. So basically you owned from the khums. Or let's say you are a poor person and there's an organization of zakat. They give you zakat to spend. So there is no khums on that, because this is something which is a charity money. Okay, so charity money, khums is not obligated on it. So he says, فَإِذَا بَقِيَ سَهْمُ الْإِمَامِ عَلَيْهِ السَّلَامِ مِنَ الْخُمْسِ. So if there was سَهْمُ الْإِمَامِ, Imam's share was remaining from the khums, وَلَمْ يُصْرَفْ فِي مَوْرِدِهِ, and it was not spent. Now again, let me point out 2 things. One is like you have the khums money to spend it on religious projects. So you are a scholar, you have permission from Ayatollah al-Uzma Sayyid Ali Sistani to spend the khums sahm al-imam, the share of the imam, on the projects. You have been given permission to spend some of that, and there's other parts you return it to Sayyid Sistani. So he can also spend, because he has also responsibilities in Najaf al-Ashraf, in Qom, in different parts of the world. He has a lot of projects. He requires financial support. So therefore, he has khums money. He spent on the religious projects. Now he has some remaining, okay? That remaining, he doesn't have to pay the khums because it's not his money. It is not his money. It's a charity money. Or he has some zakat money remaining. He was not able to distribute it to the people or needy people. So he has, at the end of the year, he has some zakat money remaining, or his representative, or a scholar who is dealing with these kind of things. So we will say that there is no khums on that remaining, because it's not yours. It's charity money. Okay, so that is what he says, that فإذا بقي سهم الإمام عليه السلام, if سهم الإمام, share of the Imam عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف, from the khums was remaining and it was not spent in its purpose, because we already spent this year, now we keep for the next year, حتى حال عليه الحول, until 1 year passes, لم يجب فيه الخمس, khums will not be obligated in it. وكذلك إذا ملك الفقير من سهم السادة من الخمس أو من الزكاة. So poor, they have two types, Sayyid poor and non-Sayyid poor. So Sayyid poor, you gave him, Sayyid poor you gave him from the Sahm al-Sada, share of the Sayyid. Non-Sayyid poor you gave him from the Zakat, he was needy. So again, whatever we give them, we are supposed to give them not more than their annual expenses. Okay, not more, because we can't give a poor person more than what he needs from the zakat, because there are other people they need, the other needy people, they need it as well. So we give him just as much as he can live and survive. The same thing is from Sahmil Sada to the Sayyid Faqir. Okay, share of Sayyids, we give them only this much. You can't give them so that they can build bungalows and they can build villas and this and that. If that happens, that is embezzlement and that is corruption. Okay, if you see some Maulanas, they started building their villas from Sahm al-Sadat or Sahm al-Imam, okay, or the shuyukhs, so that is going to be embezzlement. That is not right. Now, there are cases, sometimes people, they say, oh, this is a Maulana, he's living in a nice big villa or big house. Okay, don't judge, because I know several scholars, they have villas and they have nice house and nice cars. But I know also that they have never ever taken a penny from Sahm al-Imam to use in that. So one should not judge the scholars. Yes, if you have evidence that he has done embezzlement and he's taken from the khums and taken from the Sahm al-Sada and he built his empire and built his houses and villas and nice cars, you have to put that in a complaint to Sayyid Ali Sistani Damabullah, to the Marja, okay, and let him deal with the matter. Give him your evidences. You have to give your evidences and your proofs. But if you don't have evidences, then you should not be judging. Then you should give benefit of doubt. The reason I can say freely, Alhamdulillah, because whatever I've done, I've earned. I was a respiratory therapist. So I've earned, Alhamdulillah, and I had my savings. So I did not need to take, even though I given a permission to take from Sahm al-Imam if I need, but I did not need. And I never took a penny from Sahm al-Imam, okay? And I'm not a Sayyid, Sahm al-Sada, or neither. Alhamdulillah, I thank Allah subhanahu. So that is why I can freely speak. Okay, so if I have anything, Alhamdulillah, not a single penny from the khums I have taken to spend in my properties or belongings or whatever Allah has blessed me. So there are many like me. So we can't judge people if we see they have villa, they have this and they have that, you see. So we cannot judge them, because many scholars, some of the scholars I know, they were doctors. And they have thousands and thousands of dollars before they go to the hawza. Okay, so they have house, they have cars, they have everything before even they go to hawza. So when they come back, they're scholars, they have their properties. So you can't judge people and blame them. But if you really find, because there are people, they have done embezzlements and corruption. But if you have evidence, then you forward that evidence with your arguments, everything to Ayatollah al-Azma Sayyid Ali Sistani, and let him deal as a supreme marja with this. And there are cases, Ayatollah Sistani Damadullah has revoked the permissions of those people whom he found out with evidences that they have done embezzlement. And some of the cases were in front of my eyes, okay? So there were report filed with so many documents to Ayatollah Sistani. After some time, we heard that the ijazah was revoked and he was held accountable to return all what he had used in his, and that guy changes marja'iyah. Well, it doesn't matter. And on the day of judgment, you are required. Okay. Some marja, they say, okay, I permit you, because he doesn't have any muqallideen. So he wants to make marketing of your marja'iyah. So he gave him permission. Okay, whatever you have taken now, you're my muqallid, I allow you. And he doesn't have any muqallideen. All those muqallideen are ignorant people. His marja'iyah is not even proven by the professionals of Hawza. So these kind of maraja, they hunt on these kind of embezzlers. You see those like the history. Like, I don't want to mention the names in the Islamic history, how those people used to embezzle. Imam Ali would chuck them out. They would go to Bani Umayyah. They would go to Muawiyah. Then Muawiyah say, okay, that's fine. For me, it's okay. Just don't worry about Ali ibn Abi Talib. I'll take care of you. I'll give you how much money you want. And that's how corruption was there in the government of Muawiyah and some of the predecessors of Muawiyah. So anyhow, so nobody is ma'soom. We have to be vigilant. And also we have to give benefit of doubt and not to judge people without evidences and arguments. So therefore, if we give enough for a poor, whether Sayyid poor, give him a share of Sadat, or non-Sayyid poor, we give them from Zakat, the Zakat al-Fitr or any type of Zakat. We give them enough to cover their annual expenses. But then accidentally, or it happened to be that there was some remaining extra. Since we gave them enough to cover their annual expenses, to pay their bills, electric bills, water bills, whatsoever bills, necessities of life, that's it. Then if something remains, there will be no khums on it. So he says, وَزَادَ اتِّفَاقًا, we gave to the poor from khums, Sam Sadat or Zakat, and it increased. It happened to increase. It was not because we gave them exact, but it came. They saved. لم يجب فيه الخمس. Khums will not be obligated on it. والأحوط لزوما, on the basis of obligatory precaution. خمس ما زاد عن مؤونته مما ملك بالصدقات. Okay, so we have two types of charity. One is the obligatory charity of zakat and khums. So if you get something from zakat and khums, you are the deserving recipients, and something remains with you, you don't have to pay the khums of it. However, if you were given from the mustahab sadaqat, like the like those sadaqat which we give, like a dafa' bala and all that, there's a sadaqah on behalf of the 12th imam, sadaqah on this, sadaqah on that, all these kind of things which those are all recommended sadaqat, or even these are recommended, or even wajib, like other than zakat, like kafarat, penalties. Yes, in Sweden we have hot weather today. So it's called midsummer dog, and that means the mid of the summer, where we have the longest day and the shortest night. And when we have longest day, our temperature weather goes 24 to 27 degrees. Now you say 24 to 27 degrees, that's a spring weather, yes, but we don't have fans and air conditioning, so that's why for us it's summer. Those people who say, oh, we have 40 degrees, you have nice air conditions inside your houses. So anyhow, so basically, وَالْأَحْوَطْ لُزُومًا, on the basis of obligatory precautions. So now we have zakat and khums given to you. You are a deserving recipient. You don't need to pay khums of the remaining. However, if you are given from the recommended sadaqat, okay, sadaqah, or you were given from the wajib but non-zakat wajib, like kafara, like penalties, or radd madhalim, for those you oppressed, you are paying sadaqah on their behalf, you stole from them, you took something from them, now you are paying sadaqah, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do the reconciliation on the day of judgment. Those kind of money, or what if you are deserving recipients, or that kind of charity money, then in that case you are going to pay the khums at the end of the year if there was some remaining from there, on the basis of obligatory precaution. So some maraja might not have this obligation. وَالْأَحْوَطْ لُزُومًا, on the basis of obligatory precaution, إِخْرَاجُ khums, to take out the khums of مَا زَادَ, whatever exceeds your provision, مِمَّا مَلَكَهُ بِالصَّدَقَاتِ, from whatever he has owned it through the recommended charities, manduba, أو الواجبة, or obligatory غير الزكاة, other than zakat, كالكفارات, such as the penalties, ورد المظالم, and the reconciliation with the oppressed ones. You have oppressed somebody, you have taken their money, somehow you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to consider this a sadaqah on his behalf because you cannot find that person. So in that case, all these kind of, it's obligatory precaution. If something remains, you pay the khums of it. Now, we come to the ruling number 1213. Now here, the growth. The growth, I don't know whether I mentioned this before or not. The growth are two types, attached or detached, okay? Let me just explain you this. It's not complicated, it's easy. Attached growth and detached growth. What is the difference between attached growth or detached growth? Let's say you have a goat. So you milk the goat. That milk is detached. You detach the milk, okay? So it's a detached benefit, detached growth. It's a growth. It's an increase in something increase which you are going to benefit from it. But that's a detached. What else? For example, the goat gave baby, small baby goat, kid, okay? That is a detached. That's a new thing, new income, new benefit you got. So like these, like plant, detached. Plant grows, that's attached benefit. Because if the plant grows, the value grows. Like in Sweden, if you want to buy a plant, if it's 1 meter, it is like $10. If it's 2 meter, $20. So the more it grows, the more it has value. So therefore, if the plant grows, that means it has value in it. But this growth is attached growth. But the fruits are detached growth. If you are going to cut a branch or a twig and plant it somewhere else, that you are going to detach it. But the tree itself grows, that's attached growth. So these are the two types of growth you can have in animal or in plant. Attached growth, detached growth. Attached growth, like we mentioned, the wool or the fat in the body. The sheep becomes so fat, you feed him so that it becomes heavy and it brings you more money because they sell the sheep and goats on their weight. So this is called attached. So there are attached and detached. If this is clear, then this ruling is going to be clear. So two introductions. Introduction number one, there are attached benefits and there are detached benefits from your property, in your property, okay? And so the value increases. That's going to be the topic of khums, the increase in the value, okay? So attached, detached. This is introduction number one to understand this ruling, which I'm going to mention. Introduction number two, you have prepared it for business or prepared it for personally. Remember, in our previous session, I had mentioned that you have personal savings, you have business savings. And many times people, they ask the rulings and some of the scholars, they get confused. So they just give an answer. Then the person, they go and ask someone else, you get another answer. So why these two different answers come? Because of the confusion which happens to the asking person, to the mukallaf, to the responsible person, because he gets confused. Are you talking about business? So the scholars, they need to ask the questioning person, what are you asking about, your business or your personal? So these two things have different rules. So whatever you have for business has different rules. Whatever you have for personal has different rules. So this is the second introduction. So basically, if you understand these two introductions, this ruling is going to be understood easily. So basically, we have attached and detached, and then we have for business or for personal. Okay? Having these two things in your mind, let's go through this mas'ala rulings. And Sayyidi Sistani gives example of garden and goats. So why he is giving examples of garden and goats? We need some practical masail. Like when I explain these rulings, people, they ask me, okay, this is according to whatever he has got from the narrations, and you can apply it on your personal things. So inshallah, I'll give you some personal examples, okay? resembling this example. But this is narrated, and those days they had, nowadays also we have farms. If you don't have farm, it doesn't mean that others, they don't have farm. So there are people, they have farms, okay? But you should not be thinking that you are the only one, you have farm. There are other people, they have farms as well. Okay, so basically we have like, you are eating daily bread. From where does the grain come? People have farm. You're eating vegetable, you're eating fruit, you're eating meat. That means there are people on the face of the earth, they have farms, and they have goats, and they have cows and camels. There's so many people, because billions of people on the earth are eating those things, animal product. So if you don't have it, don't think that other people, they don't have it. These rulings are very important for those people. For you, we can give you something which is more practical to you. But we have to give these rulings as well, because there are people, they have these things which you are eating part of their products, whether it's animal product or agricultural product. Okay, so let's say if he had, Bismillah ar-Rahman, إذا كان عنده من الأعيان التي لم يتعلق بها الخمس أو تعلق بها وقد أداه. So if he has, this is a hypothesis, and we have to focus on the hypothesis to understand the whole ruling. So what did he has? He has things لم يتعلق بها الخمس. Khums did not become obligated on it. Or تعلق بها وقد أداه. Or he paid the khums of it. So now we have items, khums is not wajib, like we mentioned, meher, mirath, inheritance, dowry of the woman. We mentioned in our previous session what are the things there which are exempt from khums. So let's say he had some of these items which are exempt from khums. Or he had an item, he's supposed to pay the khums, and he paid the khums of it. Finish. Khums paid item. Or khums is not obligated, like dowry. He had a tree, okay, or a goat. Like let's say you are a farmer and you wanted to give you want to get married, and you came to this woman and you want to give the meher. So you brought a goat with you. زوجتك نفسي على this goat, and you decided, this is my meher. Oh, thank you so much, because she was a farmer as well. So she was pleased with this nice juicy goat, okay? Or let's say a tree. He had a palm tree with nice dates. She said that this will be your meher. And those days, it was normal to give meher trees, palm trees, or goats, or cattle, or 100 camels. It was normal. It was very normal. So you get a meher goat, or you get a palm tree. So there's no khums on it, as we mentioned. Or somebody had a palm tree and he paid the khums of it. So now there is an increase. The dates came out. So what are the dates? Attached or detached? Detached, because they are detachable. They're potentially detached. Okay. But the growth of the tree, attached. The goat was given to you in a meher, small. Now it's big, huge. So that is which type of growth? Attached. The milk, detached. Okay. So now there was a growth in it. فنمت, there was a growth. وزادت زيادة منفصلة, and the growth was detached. أو ما بحكمها, or something similar to the detached. Okay, he's going to mention similar to the detached one, which is detachable. كالولد, such as a baby goat came out, kid from the meher, or dates came out. واللبن, this is milk. So though it is attached, but it is detachable. Okay, you can take it out. والصوف, wool, though it is attached, but it is potentially detachable. You give a haircut to the goat or the sheep and you get a lot of wool. والأغصان اليابسة المعدة للقطع, and also the branches which are dry, you want to cut them to use for the fire. Some of the branches, where they become dry, They're used for fire. So they sell it. وَنَحْوِهَا فَالظَّاهِرُ. Apparently, he said, وُجُوبُ الْخُمْسِ فِي الزِّيَادَةِ. Okay? So khums will be wajib, obligatory on this increase. When? At the end of the year. Why? Because this is khums paid item and it is not for the business purpose. Okay? It is personal thing. Khums will be on the extra, because these are your extra. Like you had $1,000 you had kept in your account. At the end of the year, it was $1,100. So that was khums paid money, $1,000. You want practical? I'm giving you practical example. But there was a growth. So you got 100 extra at the end of the year. So $100, that extra, if you have not used it, you are going to pay the khums of it. So all these extra, if they were used like milk and wool and all these kind of things, if they were used for your personal, as your personal provision, then there will be no khums on it. But if they remain at the end of the year, at the end of the year, there was milk remaining, there were dates remaining, there were wool remaining, there were all these, and you had not sold it, or you had sold it, then if they are existing available, you are going to pay the khums of it. If you have sold it, you are going to pay the khums of the value of it. Okay, let's say you sold milk or this baby goat and you had the money remaining. So at the end of the year, you are going to pay the khums of the remaining money. So that's what he says, that khums is going to be on the things which are increased. At the end of the year, you are going to pay the khums of all that increase, because it's like you're saving your personal thing, because the goat is khums, not the goat is paid khums paid, or it's the dowry you got in your marriage, but not the baby goat. It did not come with the baby goat. It did not come with the dates. The palm tree was your meher or was khums paid. But these are all extra income. So extra income are extra benefits. So at the end of the year, if they are remaining, then you have to pay the khums of it. Okay, if you don't use it. So بَلِ now this was for the detached growth. He says more apparently for the attached growth as well, it's obligated. How? If. So attached growth are two types. One, the attached does not have any value. One, the attached has some value in it. Wujubu, bal al-zahir wujubu, more even. Apparently, it is obligatory on an attached growth as well. If that growth was commonly considered a growth in the value, such as the fat in the animal. So it became a hobbly bubbly, okay? Humpty Dumpty sheep. So now that Humpty Dumpty sheep has more fat, more weight, so it has a value, okay? So it's remaining at the end of the year. So either you are going to eat it or either you're going to sell it. So if you have not eaten it and you have not sold it, so it has an extra value. The sheep was $100. Now, because of this fat in his body or this growth, it grew $150. So it has an extra $50 value. So you are going to pay the khums of fiqh, $50. Or كسمن الحيوان المعد للاستفادة من لحمه كدجاج اللحم, such as chicken also, chicken and all these things which you make them fat so that you can eat, more people can eat, or you can sell it in a higher value. Okay. So let's complete this ruling, and inshallah we are going to continue this ruling next week. So this was if it became big, okay? So you are going to pay the khums of it. وَأَمَّا إِذَا ارْتَفَعَتْ, however, if its market value got increased. وَأَمَّا إِذَا ارْتَفَعَتْ قِيمَتُهَا السُّوقِيَّةِ, and if the market value got increased, the market value, okay, got increased. وَلَوْ لِزِيَادَ مُتَّصِلَةٍ, even if it was it was for the attached increase. فَإِنْ كَانَ الْأَصْلُ, now we come to that. Okay, so did he prepare for business or did he not prepare for business? Okay, so he says that فإن كان الأصل قد أعده للاتجار بعينه. So if it was not meher, if it was not, if it was khums paid, it was not for personal thing. He had, even if the meher, for example, he had made it or she had made it for business purpose. Okay, so business purpose. قد أعده للتجارة. The original goat or the original tree, palm tree, was prepared for the business. وجب الخمس في الزيادة في الارتفاع المذكور إذا أمكن بيعه أخذ قيمته. So if you are able to sell and take the cost of it, value of it, but you did not sell, then you have to pay the khums of it. That is the rule of business of Sayyidi Sistani. Anything you prepare for the business, if the value increases, you have to pay the khums of it, even if you don't sell it. Pay the khums on the increase. That is we are going to take more on this rule. You have to pay the khums on the increase, okay? So this is وجب الخمس في الارتفاع المذكور إذا أمكن بيعه. If you are able to sell and you did not sell, you have to pay the khums of it. وإن لم يكن قد أعده له. But if you have not prepared it for the business, لم يجب الخمس في الارتفاع. Khums would not be wajib on the increase in the value. وإذا باعه, just like not selling. See the difference. This is the key difference. If you prepare something for business, even if you don't sell it, the increment must be khumsed, as long as you were able to sell it and did not. And something which you did not prepare for business, no. You pay the khums of it, increment, if you sell it, and if that extra remains until the end of the year. So that is the difference, key difference between something which you prepare for business, something which you do not prepare for business. And I'll finish with this. وَإِذَا بَاعَهُ بِالسِّعْرِ الزَّائِدِ. Who? The one who did not prepare it for business. If he sells it with the extra price, لم يجب الخمس في الزائد من الثمن. The khums will not be obligated on the extra money he got. Okay, like for example, extra on the goat, on the tree which you got in meher or inheritance. Okay, so there will be, because ممن انتقل إذا لم يكن ممن انتقل إليه بعوض. It was not transmitted to you through a compensation. Like mirath, it was a gift. Dowry, it was a gift. So those things which you did not purchase it, there'll be no khums on the increment. Okay, you sold it with the extra, there'll be no khums at all. Otherwise, if you had purchased it and you had, like if you purchased for 100 and you sold it 150, that extra 50 you'll have to pay the khums of it, the increase, at the end of the year if it remains. That is the difference between the thing which is not prepared for business, tijara, and it increases in its value, and the things which are prepared for business and it increases in its value. You have to pay the khums of it even if you don't sell it. We'll continue this ruling in our next session. وآخر دعوان الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
صلي على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم